because I cannot put my phone here. But anyways, the channeling again, as always, in about the topics were about something different other than I mean the information came about something different other than we were talking about in the beginning. So at the beginning we have like a different questions, but the answers started going completely elsewhere. The answers started to go about the ruling elite, because we were asking something about the oil facilities, oil refineries. They were talking about the ruling elite, and about the ruling elite, the beings were starting to talk that we have to understand one thing. The people, what thing? And about the oil refineries, that the oil is squeezed out of the underground surface, under earth, is being pushed out or squeezed out. And let's say there are like only handful of people that are above everything, like the ruling elite, let's call it like this. And this handful of people, there are around 12 of them. These handful of people have everything on this planet, or own everything in this planet. That's why I call the elite, and they call it elite ownership. And people were, what do you mean by ownership? And they said, well, that's the point. Elite ownership. It's very simple. It's pure simpleness, and that's why it's elite, because it's very simple. Like all and everything is being owned by somebody. For example, they said like let's say the oil drill in underground where the fossil fuel comes out, or crude oil, whatever it calls, I don't know the names. Basically, the drill where the fuel comes out. It said that it's owned by somebody, and they are to take that everything is being ownership by somebody, and you have to pay everything a percentage to somebody, and that somebody doesn't do anything. It just has the ownership of everything that is. So the point is, or the information is, that it's elite ownership, like elite type of ownership. The same is with bankings. Like there is a special head or a man that has and controls practically all money. There is like a global bank, like World's Bank or something. And throughout all countries, there is defined ownership. All fuel belongs, and you cannot do anything about it. And there are like rules about distributing the fuel. It belongs to like a central World Bank. And you as a country cannot distribute it, cannot produce it without special allowance. Effectively what it means is, for example, if here in my country somebody finds like a new oil leak drill, it will definitely be bought out and closed. Nobody knows about the existence anymore, because there is no point of harvesting the oil. The ownerships or the owners of the oil industry, there is no point of them harvesting the oil here and creating an oil refinery here. There's absolutely no point of it. Better do it where it's centralized somewhere else, and that's it. So you don't need to do it, because everything is owned by somebody already. And that to me was very fully describing and fully understandable. And he said, well, it's the same, like they continued, like you have to understand that a country, for example, like our small country, is a sub company of some elite already. They said that they're like a ruling elite is only 12, under them is practically 300 people, and a country like we are living here in each separate country is a sub company to those ruling elites. And a company is just like, they have these rules, what you can and what you can't do. Politicians just play out those rules, and if something goes wrong, or the politician thinks he can do it himself, or let's say a country becomes independent, that's out of the elite's control. Change the government, change the system, rethrow the government, put a new government inside. Government follows these rules, these given rules that are given. All oil belongs to this, pay tax from oil's commission goes to this, electricity, energy facilities goes this, central banking, banks, loans, everything goes here, medicine, everything comes and goes here, war facilities, weapons, everything is bought from here. And you have, this is like the description that's been given because of, and all data and new infrastructure data that's being carried out online also goes through here. It's like we're fighting terrorism and la 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 and la 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 la, security reasons, healthcare issues, and everything. Everything is followed by these rules, and that's practically what it means. A country is like, let's say, somehow they have like what they can do and they cannot do, and all those people are given like an illusion type of ideas that come to the government structure, everything is cared for you and everything, and all stuff like that. But practically a country belongs to elite. Elite ownership is country, and all those resources belong to this elite. Company is just like the governmental structure, like a country, is just a way of harvesting resources for the elite. That's all there is. So, and the next thing that was interesting for me was that these elite people, they only care about having influence and power, having more influence and power. They have like this stunning euphorical feeling about having power. And there was I had like an image that one of these heads lives in like Canadian mountains, deep inside the mountains, where the river goes through, like a really beautiful place. But there's like a city inside the mountains where he lives, like a large city. And what it doesn't matter. But anyways, the thing that actually matters is that all those government systems are practically being created to so that nobody has a high chance, or practically you would say otherwise, that reduce all possible chances for somebody like me, you, and everybody else to become a strong influencer that has a high ownership of wealth, let's say money. And all those government systems are practically being created to reduce the chance as high as possible for you to becoming something important, let's say like this. And when somebody becomes important, like Facebook owner or Telegram owner, he has to be under full control and observation about elite sector, let's say elite head that takes care of this, because they don't want anything to have rising influence, like no competition is allowed. So that was interesting. And also there was so they talked about levels, like the first level for you would be to becoming a politician. That would be the first level that you can normally reach. The second level would be a security department, like a secret security department. That would be the second level where you can reach and grow. Third level would be special secret services, like we as humans that nobody actually knows that they actually exist, those secret services. Something in America would be like CSI, FBI, stuff like that, something a little bit. If you are a trusty person, if you are a trusty human, they choose you under circumstances and it depends on the field. Those fields are many. You become something secret, and you have many benefits, like tons of benefits. For example, you could have like wealth and care and guarantees and everything. The interesting thing was about, they said, well, you think like there's a war going on in Ukraine and Russia. Basically, all weapons are owned and being certified by one elite head. So it doesn't matter where and who fights whom, because both of those belong to one party. So what it means is that there is no difference of the ownership. So what it means is also when there is an ongoing war, ownerships are still the same. It doesn't matter if the building changes flag from one to the other, the ownerships are the same. So it's just a way of selling weapons and more, because they said, well, you think that NATO and some Russian weapon producers or distributors, they are different. They're basically governed by the same elite. So practically no difference. And it doesn't make any changes. Who owns who? And so yeah, because those countries themselves are owned by the elites. So it doesn't matter actually. And all those resources that are being carried out and being dug, they're basically one owner also. It can be a sub company, but one owner. So when they told that, well, if somebody from the elite needs money, like to have like a control or some infrastructure buildings, it's absolutely no problem. It's like the central bank owner, the head of central bank systems. It's just how much do you need, because all the money we input in the market comes back to us. It comes back to us. So it's no difference at all. And so it's like having and controlling and having even more power and more influence. That's all there is. So that to me was like a mind-changing, mind-blowing, let's say, in a way. I was thinking about this a lot of times. I mean, like a long time, like a couple of days. And I somehow, I think I need to stop because it smells by burning tires. It's burning tires. Maybe I have a... But anyways, basically is when you become more and more influenced, higher you have a more control. Somebody has more control over you. And to me, it was like, well, there was a one test which was a nasty test. I had to say, I think I need to say it. It's like when you become higher in those levels, when they start choosing you to be like in the closer to the elite, like a new level above or higher, there are like certain tasks that are given to you, but those tasks are given you only, let's say, through a mail or a postcard or some sort of a message. And the message would be, come to this address at that time. You come, gates open, and there is let's say a small baby in the room. Let's say maybe 5 months or something. And the message could be, the next message could be, eat him. And the idea was that when he eats the child, they observe him to see whether he has some kind of empathy, like that he tastes his emotions, the child's emotions. Of course he will be crying and stuff like this, but whether he has those emotions, yes or not. So if he has those emotions, he didn't pass the exam. I mean, like, if he had emotions, he didn't pass the exam. So, because when you are higher and higher, you make decisions or work for people, with the people that do, let's say, non-ethical or no good things, let's call it like this. But they could be many varieties of reasons, like from taxes to wars and everything. But you have no empathy to it. You just have no emotion. Yeah, I will do it no matter. What's the difference anyways? And yeah, that was the strangest thing. But the next interesting thing was that I was like thinking, how could they maintain such power in a one lifespan? Of course, they were older, much older than we are, like 100 and 120 years. What I figured, it was like 200 years also. Some of them are old. They have this power from centuries to centuries. But the interesting thing is, they reborn in the same families again. And that was the one little strange thing, what I didn't quite yet understand. I think I need to channel more about this information. But anyways, it's basically what I saw was that they have like, they live like two worlds, the highest elite. As if they have like, for example, let's think that technology has advanced, and they have the ability to live in different worlds, or that they came from a different reality or a different world. They live here like remotely, and when they die, they still are alive and they can re-enter a different body and live again remotely. And they have this like they go and come back always. And that was the strangest part or strangest thing. But I didn't have more information about that because the questions were going in different direction. But anyways, that was like really interesting, like a really interesting thing. But I had this question afterwards. The question was that how can you actually benefit from this? It's like, how do they affect your life? Well, the elite's point of view is to have a complete control over you and over the society. That means like, take one part of your life. Let's say they take 1/10 of your income always, or maybe let's say 1/3 of your income. So they occupy 1/3 of your life's energy that you put here. They take 1/3 of your energy, 1/5 or 1/10 or half. Let's say they don't fully take away your free will. They don't fully take away your free life. You have to work a little bit more for them. But working for them is also your choice. You can always go inside the forest and live with somebody else and have a society, a different society. Until it becomes a really big society, they will not pay attention to you. They will not pay attention to you until you reach some kind of a influence or followers, let's say like this. When you do have, or the society has strong influence, then they come chase you. Is it legal? The drugs, maybe there are drugs being used, anti-terrorism, illegal opportunities, a suspect of children abuse, and all those were governmental issues that the government doesn't allow it. It's against the human laws or the civil laws or something. It's against all that. You'll be arrested or detained and you should never meet each other. That's what practically will happen to you. Not even talk about medicine. So what it means is to overcome, what I figure, to overcome this elite from our perspective and our situation which we have right here, the established situation which we have, is practically, with those rules given, impossible. So there has to be, like, if you really want to overcome it or change or live in a different society, but you know, by the big chance nothing practically different will happen. You will still work, you will still eat, you will still drink, and you still will be doing something, I don't know what. Yeah, so when you will become different, the question is, will something change? Maybe, maybe not. But the question is basically, for me, because wars will always be, it's like the people are arguing always. The thing, the difference will be whether who against who will be warring. Maybe wars will not exist, who knows, you know, just the idea that some kind of problems always will be. But the thing is, what can you do or what can you be to have like a better fulfillment in this world or in this lifespan, or fulfill your tasks or jobs that you need? That's the biggest question. Like, why am I here and what do I want to do? And this is what the Enricos in channeling is always telling, and those people, beings, are always telling you. In all the world, there is always something completely bad going on. The question is, are you doing those things that are really important to you? Or do you like those things? Why are you doing those things, or being interested in things that you don't like? And I think this is the most important thing to understand. And I'm not telling you that you should understand, but I'm telling you that you should consider what is the most important thing, or what would I like to do here in this world. Because even if you somehow have this chance to overthrow the government or overthrow the elite or become something independent or something else, or to change the world, there would be always some kind of different system. Always something evil will come in a different place and take everything. So the question is about more about you. What is that you really wish and what is that you really want? And also this experience made me put to this question. Okay, I understand. Okay, I have like the perspective or the idea or the concept of it. But what is that I would truly want or wish to be? And that is, I think, the most difficult question. So anyways, have a good day and goodbye.